Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Spark, and we're here today with the Python Mark II in a combat build guide for Elite Dangerous. I've spent some time tinkering builds, coming up with builds and other such for the ship, and overall I'm okay with the ship. I don't feel very happy with it though. I feel like it's very underwhelming compared to the first Python. The ship was already oriented towards combat, which is fine, but I still feel like the Python Mark 1 does it a little bit better. This does have speeds, a lot better agility. So yes, you could say it's better for the PvP content, which is probably true. I would say I would have to 1v1 a Python, normal one, see which one would stack up better, but really up in the air. But this is what I have come to the conclusion of, and I'm going to explain my couple builds that I have for the Python. You may have to overcharge the power plant a little bit, though, to fit the frags on that I will be showing you, but we will go over that in the video. So, for my Python, we will go over the hard point. I will go over everything as clear as I can. So we actually have 4 3B plasma accelerators. All of them have thermal conduit, but one has target lock breaker. These are going to crank out some serious damage, while also being able to keep the ship cool with that overcharged power plant. It does drain the distro pretty heavily to even fire all of these, and there is an additional power accelerator down here, a medium one, a 2 class one. So you're firing a total of 5 plasmas. Some say it's very tricky to land all these plasmas, but if you're getting some pretty good snipes in and some pretty good angle shots in, it is really easy to be done. Or you can go the lazy man route and run all frags, like some people do. You can also run pacifiers if you feel so inclined. I personally like the gimbaled frags, but that is just me. It does do well with the frag cannons on because it is a very tight ship. So you don't have to worry about that if you want to go that route. Some people also maybe want to try multi-cannons. Just kind of depends on what your needs and wants are. But I have decided to go with the old-fashioned plasma accelerator. And I do have a 2B railgun on with long range 5 with feedback cascade to deal with shield cell banks. Because they are still a thing and are a problem child. I have bought the red variant, which is the little bit more expensive one, but it does make the insurance cost pretty cheap, in my opinion. But that is just from my experience. If you can keep as many stock modules on as you can, it does lower the rebuy costs. But putting on armor does make it increase quite a lot. So for utilities, we have a lot of shield boosters. It does come with a heat sink whenever you do buy this variant of the ship, so just a heads up. I have decided to keep as many of the boosters on that I could when I bought the ship. So for a few of the boosters, we have a heavy duty grade 5 with super cap. We have another one. I believe we're running 1, 2, 3, 4 OA shield boosters with heavy duty super cap to give the ship some very heavy megajoules. And you'll be seeing my shield generator ways for this ship. And I'm also running a pre-engineered heatsink with the extra ammo capacity on it. Very handy to have, in my opinion. For the core internals, we're running reactive armor with lightweight. You could go with a mirror ball setup. You're just running risk of dealing with explosives, which is a threat that you should always take into consideration. But I like to be overall protected, so this is what I have decided to go with. I have stuck with the 6A power plant. I have overcharged it to 4 with thermal spread to keep the heat down because it is a little bit of a toasty ship if you're firing the weapons quite often. As I said, you might have to overcharge it to 5 to fit the frag cannons on. I believe I was able to turn off some modules, but that is just my experiment. I have a 6A thruster with dirty drive tuning 5 with drag drives. This ship will zoom at about 557, which is in between a Trait Mark II and a Phantom. So it's definitely weird how they bridge the gap. if you want to stick as with the Falcon DeLacy ships. Its special perk that it handles better with the frame shift drive that it comes with, or the frame shift drives that are supercharged, which I have decided to do fast boot strip down. These are extraordinarily fast FSDs in space or in Super Cruise, so to take that in consideration when you're using them, you will get to where you're wanting to go very fast. For the life support, I decided to lightweight at 5 to get as much speed as I can out of the ship, because speed is everything in this game, so getting every little bit you can is important. For the distributor, I have went with Charged Enhanced Distributor with Super Conduits to get that recharge capacity up as fast as possible. Unfortunately, it is a 6-slot distributor, unlike the 7-slot you will find on the original Python gunship in both rates. And I believe the Type N2, if I'm correct. So very small distro. It really struggles to hold a lot of weapon capacity. But that is just how I have learned to fly with it. It flies like a really fast challenger. You would think, why not a chieftain? It doesn't turn quite as fast as a chieftain, in my opinion. It's about challenger rate, if you're used to that ship. I've also went with a 5D sensor that came with the ship, and I've lightweighted it to 5. And unfortunately, it does come with a Class 6 fuel tank. Not a 32, unlike the other rates and Python for some odd reason. And we get on to the weird topic of this ship, and I just want to kind of go over my thoughts and opinions of this real quick. We're talking about a Python Mark II, or a Python chassis. The Python was known for its wide module selection of optionals that you could put on the ship. It had more modules than a crate selection. Where is all of that module storage or module option for the ship? That third hard point really take up that much, or that fourth hard point, my bad. And you can tell there's like this little piece back here that's missing too on that back here too. Did really losing all that much, and I guess slimming it down here in this way here, really lose all of that slots? I really feel like this ship is missing some slots. Because it does not pack the shields, at least in the preserves, like a Python or crate can. It does have a lot of utility mounts and a lot of upfront shields, or utilitarian, I guess, if you want to look at it that way, than the Python in the crate. It just confuses me that such a large lumbering ship got neutered down to this. Maybe that's just me, guys, but I would like to hear what you guys think in the comments down below about this topic. I'm sure they did it for the reasons of balancing, because this ship was to compete with the FDL, which is kind of weird since Falcon DeLacy owns their Gordon Peterson. So I'm not sure why would you compete against yourself, but that's just my thoughts and opinions. And is it necessarily a bad ship for what it does? No, not really. It is, in my opinion, a much better FDL. Better shields, it is larger, faster, or just as fast, and packs way more of a punch for its class. So, yeah, and can run a multitude of weapon arrays, as long as you can fund the power plant, which I did not go over. I think I did actually overcharge for, yeah. But let's go back to the optionals. I have decided to go with a 4A prismatic, and you might be wondering why. It still gets excellent shields at 2,378, which is not bad. That's actually pretty damn good in my opinion. And then you have the 6A bank to really add on to it, as long as you're not getting canceled. And a 6A shield cell bank is pretty difficult to cancel with just one bank or one rail. It is doable, don't get me wrong, but you really have to be precise, very quick. But that is just my thoughts and opinions. For the prismatic though, I am running reinforced 5 with high cap, get as much megajoules as I can. You can run some reinforcement boosters, or not, resistant augmented boosters to get that resistance up if you don't feel it's good enough, or whatever you think might needs to be done to smooth it out. But as far as the meta goes, this is pretty much how it is, but I can understand maybe changing it up. Some people have opted in putting 6A prismatics in, and that is perfectly fine. You do lose about 2,500 megajoules of potential shields that way if you don't run the banks, or about 2,000 to about 1,500 if you're running a 6A Prisma with a 4A bank. So it just kind of depends on how you want to set up your array of shields. Sometimes you might just want to call it short, simple, sweet, and just run a shield generator with no banks. That is up to you, but this is what I have decided to do. My shield cell bank is rapid forward with recycling to give as much megajoules and keep it as fast as possible. I have decided to, in addition with the reactive, I have just went with a 3D hull reinforcement heavy duty 5 and deep plating as an additional protection. And then I have also put a 2D hull reinforcement on with heavy duty deep plating, heavy duty hull reinforcement with deep plating. And then the 1D is a thermal resistant hull reinforcement to counterbalance the reactive armored for kinetic, so it gives it really good thermal protection, which you guys can see right here. I thought it might be over there. Yeah, over there next to shields. My bad. I did not realize I actually extended the numbers over to there. My bad. And I have a frame shift drive interdictor on here with long range 4. That's 1A. So you can go get your targets really fast, especially with the overcharge or super cruise overcharge. It's really going to be difficult to get players, or going to be changing the meta trying to keep up with them, especially haulers, if you're into power play or trying to catch BGS people as well. But that is my overall build for the Python Mark II. As I said, guys, I'm a little bit disappointed that it did not challenge the rates. I feel like that's where the ship should have challenged and not the FDL. But I guess the FDL really did need a competitor because there was a lot out there. Do I think it's a bad ship? No, I think it'll serve its job and do what it needs to do. I just wish they would have maybe gave it a different nameplate, because the name Python, I think of a very universal, versatile ship that can do everything and anything that needs to be done. Maybe not the most for PvP, no, but I don't know. Maybe it'll wear on me, maybe it'll grow on me, and I'm curious to see what you guys think of it as well. I'm definitely curious to hear what the community thinks of this ship, and overall, I've heard pretty reasonable things about this ship. People think it is a little weird that it's not quite has as many slots as the Python, but maybe that's just me. I get Cobra Mark IV vibes when I look at this, which is alright, but that is just my thoughts. I'm also curious to hear what you guys are running as well on your Pythons. I do want to hear some builds if I can. I am very curious to try out different things. I have a few builds I'm going to test out that I plan on seeing how they work. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and my build guide, and please let me know down below what you thought of it as well. And I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Take care, and have a good one.